Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I have an account for you today that hit the newspapers, and it's the hunt for the West Wales wolfman. And it says, the hunt for the West Wales wolfman is back on after walkers stumbled across what is thought to be his lair. The unknown vagrant, dubbed the wolfman after years of living wild in Carmarthenshire woods, was linked to a spate of food and clothing thefts from the village last year. So far, police have caught nothing more than glimpses of the straggly figure as he evaded capture in the woods around oh, Pantoffinon Tips near Ammanford. I've probably got that very wrong. But officers from the Diffid Powers Force this week confirmed they are looking into possible fresh sightings after walkers reported stumbling across a woodland shack stuffed with food, clothes, and electrical equipment. One second. Builder John Jones, 43, who lives in Pantiphonon, said the new development was the talk of the area. We've been told that some walkers found a tin shed full of food and clothes, so we assume that this is one of his hideouts, he said. Lots of people have been looking for where he is, but the woodland is so dense it's not an easy place to search. There have been one or two sightings of this long-haired, bearded person. He was so scruffy and unkempt, he's like a wild man. Last year, people started saying how their milk was disappearing and food was taken from freezers in outbuildings. When one of the villagers spotted a man creeping around outside her house and saw him steal her milk, that made people nervous and the police got involved. Since then, there's been lots of odd sightings of him and more milk has gone. David Thomas, a carpenter from Tycrose, said, a lot of the lads around here have seen him. He's scruffy and has lots of dark hair. I was working at a site near the woods once and saw him hiding in a hedge. I think he was watching us, just sitting there watching us. I've no idea why. It's all very strange. The sightings have even sparked a bizarre paranormal investigation into the possibilities of a werewolf on the loose. Gwilym Games, regional representative for Wales for the Centre for Fortean Zoology, an organisation dedicated to the investigation of unknown and out-of-place animals, said, there is a long history of werewolves in Wales, and an even earlier mention of the Amman Valley, but his search proved fruitless. I turned up very little during my hunt. I did manage to talk to a couple of locals, but they dismissed it as just a tramp. It is thought the figure may have lived in the wild for up to 4 years, but only turned to crime after a harsh winter. Inspector Paul Williams of the Diffid Powys Police said, we have had a report from a member of the public and we are now following that up with officers making inquiries. And that is a newspaper article. It was in Wales Online. It kind of reminds me of the old boggart and bull beggar stories where people report that the milk was stolen and animal feed was stolen to the extent at some point I think people started leaving honey and milk out for the said bull beggar, so that he would stop stealing the things that they needed. I think there's still a little legend about that in Wales actually, isn't there, leaving honey and milk outside in a blanket on cold nights for the bull beggar. And I know in Lancashire we have a boggart. It's a very similar tale, a boggart that steals your milk and plats the tails of horses and braids them, puts little flowers in and things like that. And people will leave food out for them. Um, Strange superstition for some, possible wild man for others. I'm unsure. It does mention clothes and it mentions electrical equipment. So we're going to assume that this one is a person that has decided, and I probably would agree with him, to live away from society and within the woods and should probably be left alone. And if it was me, I'd be taking him apples down there every week. But if you know anything about the West Wales Wolfman, or you've been one of the witnesses to the said wolfman, please get in touch, because I'd love to know more on this story. And thanks to Carrie Ann for sending it in to me. So until next time, thank you very much. Goodbye.